It includes everything. Being sick, being healthy, all of it. How does our life, just as we are, we're in a setup, every one of us, to awaken. We're in the perfect circumstance and setup that will free us from this self-image, from this false identity we have been duped into. So let's see what James has given us today. Usually it's very sequential. He gives us, today's a blockbuster. Yesterday, he gave us a major step. Started off the week with remembering that we don't have to know how this awakening in each of us happens. What we have to do is get out of the way and stop trying to take control and be in charge of it. And let love, let God, let Spirit guide us, lead us, and accept every situation that comes our way, whether it's sickness or health or an upset, but to look with open-mindedness and an open heart on everything and let it show us what is, what we are, what love is. So let's see what today's is. So we are not in charge of this awakening, and but we certainly are in it. And so this is Tuesday's lesson. You ready? This is a blockbuster lesson. So just like any lesson, if you do the Course in Miracles or you do anything, any one lesson that we take and apply wholeheartedly to everything sets us free. And this particular one is a good one for that. Okay. There is a necessary step you must take that will lead to the relinquishment of the self you have claimed, which is in constant competition with the self that is claimed by God. All right, we're set up. There's a necessary step. You ready? And let's do it today, right now. Okay. It is the relinquishment of the original guilt. That's right to the core of what is driving this time-space sequencing that we seem to be part of. It is the relinquishment of original guilt. That's what is the fundamental cornerstone that drives us into believing that we're separate from each other, separate from God, separate from everything on our own, trying to survive. That's the fundamental experience right there. All right, original guilt. It is the relinquishment of the original guilt that set you on the path of ego consciousness. The original guilt belief is simply this: what God created as perfect and unchangeable has suddenly changed into something unrecognized by God. God does not recognize us when we pull away and pretend to be something we're not. We have become unrecognizable because God, that omnipresence, omniscience, everything, is only knows the all of everything. Okay. This thought is the very cornerstone of every erroneous belief you have claimed until now. So this seed thought of guilt is part of everything in the world of separation. When the cornerstone of any building is removed, the building cannot stand on its own. That's the building of self-identity that every day, but today, can fall away, and we can fall into the natural love that we are. So it's as simple as this. This is how I see it. Wherever any of us are tempted to see someone as guilty, as not being quite what they should be, as being less than, as being whatever, for whatever it is they did, remember, we judge, the ego judges on bodies. It judges, so that it starts off with a premise that's false. It starts off with body identification. And then it says, oh, your behavior is good, bad, or whatever, so you're guilty. What we're being called to do is to look with holy eyes. This is, in the Course, he calls it Christ vision. We're asked to look with eyes that see our soul, to look behind the mask of body identity and see a soul alive in love. That's all we're asked to do, and drop the judgment of guilt. Whatever we hold to be so becomes so for us. Not only does it become so, it is how we end up thinking of ourselves. If I see my brother as guilty, I'm seeing the guilt in myself and I'm condemning myself. And I'm burying myself, my soul, my spirit in this false identity. That's how simple this is. We can choose in any moment. And, you know, in the States, it's a big political day. There's going to be a big debate tonight with Trump and Harris. And in the United States, it becomes, ooh, it's a very charged situation. This one's guilty, this one's right, this one's wrong. What if we went into every situation as, oh my gosh, look at this, two children of God standing up to try and give everything they've got? What if we looked at everything with love? What if we couldn't tell the difference? And we're not being asked to even get there. We're just being asked now to be willing to live like that, to be willing to see only innocence, no matter what situation seems to be occurring, because we're being called to look at each other's souls, not at each other's body shenanigans, body identities, body comings and goings. That's really all it is. And be willing to say, I don't know, let's see, show me. And this is, I bet this comes another day for another day's lesson. Show me, Father, thy will be done. Show me what you have chosen for us, for me. You show me, not I'll make this decision and make it so. That is the fundamental way of being in time and space. We take a stand and then we fight for it. And then we say who's right or wrong and who's innocent and guilty. And what if we said, none of it's so. Let me live in what is so. And then I'll be shown what to say or do, how to vote, how to not vote, how to attend this or how to attend that. We'll all be shown because love is our teacher, not our split mind. That's the difference. We have been operating on the belief that with our split mind, we could get to happiness. And the truth is, with our split mind, all we get to is more division. We don't get to happiness because happiness is our natural state of wholeness. It's our state of inclusion. It's our state of, we are one in love. We are one in love. I'm remembering Jean-Pierre, who used to be in here in this Zoom, who gave us a new Ho'oponopono. And it was, I see you. I welcome you. I rejoice. I love you. I am, you are, we are one. That's a statement of wholeness. That's a statement of love. That's a statement of innocence. So for me, and I'll pay attention to this all day because you know I love playing these games. I'll play the guilt or innocence game. Look at the places that we tend to see someone's guilty. Someone did it wrong. It may be the mailman left the mail wrong. It could be any little thing. The point is, it doesn't matter. The accusation of guilt is what keeps us identified as bodies and closes down our communication with everything that is, with our soul that is one in everything, that is one in God, one in everything. We don't want to close that communication anymore. We want to open it up. So the directions today, wherever we're tempted to see guilt anywhere, offer innocence. And take everyone off the hook. Everyone, take everyone off the hook. Nobody is guilty for dreaming. That's what it boils down to. That's why the non-duality teachers are becoming so numerous and so evident, because they're saying over and over that in non-duality, in oneness, time and space as we see it isn't. Forget it. good or bad. It isn't. So for us, this is the step that's offered today. Brother James, thank you for this step. Not only are we not in charge of our own awakening to our holiness, all we are asked to do is withdraw any accusation, any judgment of guilt anywhere, anywhere. They're guilty, they're not teaching this correctly, they're not doing this correctly. Just drop it and say, I join my brother who is one with me in holy innocence and love. That's it. That's all we have to do. All right. I love you guys. I love you all. Thank you for being a spiritual family with me and with each other. This is where the strength to do this comes from, our joining together to only accept the truth in every moment. So come play the game of everyone's innocent today, ourselves included. Oh, I didn't do it wrong. I did this wrong. No, no, no. We are innocent. We are wholly innocent children of God. Thank you. I love you. And Maria, take it away.
Thank you, Vicky. What a beautiful sharing. Let's whoop whoop for Vicky. Yes. Beautiful
Thank you.
sister. Wow. Just beautiful. What a beautiful reading from James. You know, funny thing, this morning, I was getting my breakfast and someone here from the community came up to me and said, you know, one of the things I appreciated about your talk yesterday was your innocence. You know, it's all about, for me in the body, using the body, is bringing it from here to here. And the recognition that that innocence is what is really, really real here. And when he said that, it was beautiful because as he can see it in me, I can see it in him, and we have this beautiful exchange this morning. And when you started speaking about innocence, I'm like, oh my gosh, Holy Spirit, everything is so, comes together so beautifully. And all I could think when you're speaking, Vicky, is as I'm sitting here at the village, Namaste Village, if I can be everyone's eyes, is innocence here. The community, the love. First I'm wondering, what the heck am I doing here? Honestly, my ego was a little frazzled. It's a lot of energy. I finally landed. So guys, get ready for the choo-choo train, because I don't know where this is going this week. Although when I first got here, there was, quite honestly, a lot of judgments in my mind. My ego was on full throttle with me. And it was so fascinating to me. And I love it when Maria la Loca comes out. I call her Maria. I love it when she comes out because I have the opportunity to remember Father, Mother, God again. It gives me the opportunity to connect that innocence again. There's nothing wrong here. I don't care. I was talking to Ravi yesterday. I don't care how much kumbaya I've done. I don't care how much books I've read. I don't care. I even wrote a book. I go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right? Not the cereal, but just really just lose my mind. So when I got here, I'm like, James had said such great things. You're going to want to move here. And when I first got here, I was like, maybe you shouldn't have said so many such great things, because I had like very high expectations. It's all the mind. It was this coming into that and coming in. And then I finally, with the work, and that's why I love what Vicky said. It's just a reminder, the practice of that. She says, I'm going to practice this today. It's the practice of that Christ vision, of the practice of being uncompromising and saying, and you know what got me here to this space that I'm so grounded and I can feel so good. And now I get what James was saying about moving here. I get it now. It took me 24 hours only. The lessons start, you start to collapse time, people. I allowed myself to be. That's what got me here. Super uncomfortable yesterday. You know what I did? I ran to my room. I meditated for 15 minutes. I was in no space, no time. Thank you, Joe Dispenza. I pulled that card out. I need to get out of my mind. And that's the work, my friends. And then I get to appreciate the love that was here and that has always been here. And today I was like, wow, thank you for that hike. You know who you are this morning. Thank you for seeing my innocence this morning. Thank you for all of you that came up to me yesterday and said, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for holding that space for me. That is what we're here for that love. But I wanted to remind you that that compassion that I gave myself to not have it all together and not judge myself, there's something wrong here. I think I watched too much Dateline. I even felt a little bit unsafe. It's not like me. I was like, what is happening? I was having a talk with Robbie yesterday and I was like, he's like, but I know this stuff. I go, I know it too. And I'm thinking all kinds of kooky things. My loves. Something happened. I touched something. I kicked something. Okay. I'm long-legged and my legs are going everywhere. Are we all good? Okay. How much time are we at here? Because I could go on and on. What's happening?
It's only quarter past.
Okay. All right. So, speaking to that, thank you. You see, this is what I mean. It's like so taken care of. But what I'm trying to get at is what brought me to be able to wake up this morning. It wasn't something that I had to try hard to do. It was just really allowing myself to be. And then this morning, I could get up and miracles come naturally. I was back. I was like, oh, thank God. And it's not back in Maria, the personality. It's back in my true nature. I can feel it. I mean, I don't even know what to say. And there's nothing needed to say. This is it, people. Right here, baby. The question is, do you want to play the game? And when I mean the game is that, do you want to begin to elevate and be uncompromising? Do you think it was easy for me to have compassion for myself for the judgments that I was having? No. But as I like to say, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to play with God. I'm ready. I know what it is to play the other game. No, thank you. Vicky, when you were speaking, I was thinking about this story. I used to have a Spanish ministry in Los Angeles when I lived there, Unity of Burbank, and I spoke there once a month. And I had this beautiful lady come up to me. I had just given a sermon. She comes up to me. She starts crying and she says, I'm not a sinner. And she holds me. I'm not a sinner, Maria. Your sermon just reminded me I'm not guilty and I'm not going to hell. She was so relieved. And not that religion is bad, and not that the Catholic stuff and what they teach is bad. That's not what I'm even getting at. It has even nothing to do with that. Everyone has their own paths of what they need to study to get there where they want it, whatever. The whole point is that's why yesterday when I was speaking about my book, the first chapter was inspired by that lady. I'm not bad and I'm not going to hell. And this speaks to this perfectly, and then I'll wrap it up here. But what Vicky was saying, and it says, and I think I've shared this before, but it says, how did we lose touch with love? With that innocence that we were just speaking of, right? In the beginning, there was perfect happiness. Sometimes the state is referred to metaphorically as the Garden of Eden. But it's really a state of mind that's pure bliss, ecstasy, right? So this is the oneness in the mind of God, right? No judgments, sadness, anger, sickness existed, only love. Then arose a very silly thought. So this kind of comes inspired by the Course in Miracles. Is there something else? I think I want to play somewhere else, right? So that was the beginning of doubt. And as the Course suggests, no one has been sure of anything since. All right, that comes from chapter 3. Exactly when did this mistaken thought occur? The answer is just a moment ago. It happens many times before, but the only time that counts is the most recent one, because the only time that matters is now. We are constantly thinking that we're separate from God, removing ourselves from the love that is our true nature. That's why we remain in such a painful world. How long we've been there is really besides the point. So it's funny because when people ask, when did the separation occur? This moment. I was experiencing the separation. If we're going to go to the practicality, I'm all about practicality, application, stories to get down to what's going on here. I was forgetting when I first got here. I was in the judgments. I was separating. I was in the illusion. I was reliving what appears to be the separation that never occurred. I was reliving it. So, my lovely Zoom people, are you there? Whoop, whoop. Okay. All right. So, and I'll close with this. I'm happy to be back in the mind of God, to have come back to my sanity. And I hope that this gives you the opportunity to also be exactly where you are whenever you are, and have compassion and grace for yourself. Ravi has been a little under the weather, I'm going to say, right? But one of the key things when he came up to me yesterday and we talked was, and what I felt guided to tell him was compassion. And that's what I want to tell everyone here is to have compassion for ourselves, for our true selves, for our true nature, to be a little kinder, more kinder to ourselves, because that helps us to wake up to the innocence and that true nature that we are. And then we begin to have more Christ vision. But if we don't have compassion for ourselves and we want to have it together because we've been so kumbaya for so long, and I've done so many retreats and with Alibaba and I don't know, whatever we've done, it doesn't matter. We are going to forget sometimes. And please allow yourself, I've said it again, to be a hot mess. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, right? All right, so the question is, are we ready to get on the happy choo-choo train today?
Yes.
Why? Because the time has come, my beautiful people. The time has come. Why? Because you're so worthy of it. You know what's good is that when this debate is going on today, I don't know if we're going to watch it here or not, but it doesn't matter, because the innocence is what really matters, right? So I was about to say something super good there and it didn't come out, so we'll figure it out later. But it was a whole point of the debate is going to happen, and something was coming and then it went away. So obviously it's not supposed to be now. The whole point I was going to make is, while the debate is happening, we don't need to make it so real. That helps elevate the awareness. And if you do make it real, forgive yourself and have compassion. And if somebody else makes it real, you can go ahead and have compassion for them. So I invite you now, as we come into what appears to be some sort of vortex politically in the States, I invite us all to get on the happy train. So let's all get on. All aboard, baby. Beautiful Zoom people. Okay, and then all together, choo-choo. All right, loves. I will give it over, I think, to Calico. Yeah. If she's there.
Thanks, Maria and Vicky. I just want to say one more thing. It's about the debates, but it's about watching anything in real life on TV. Use it as an opportunity to see what you're thinking. It's a real good opportunity to see where you're judging something, and then use that and take it through the mind training, because it's just all projections are self-judgment. Every single projection of judgment is self-punishing. And so, as you're watching it, because quite frankly, and I can't even think of all their names, but all those that are running for office are perfect. They're perfect. There's nothing that needs to be changed or altered. They're perfect, just like we are all perfect. And that's really all I need to say. Thank you so much, Vicky and Maria. It was a great morning. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Calico. Thank you, Maria. And I see Scott in the hot seat, ready to sing. Okay, go ahead, honey. And then close us up with a big amen.
Right. My guitar is innocent, but it's out of tune. I'm willing to open my eyes to see your innocence. Let's get on the happy train as holy children of God. I'm willing to open my eyes to see Donald's innocence, so I can get on the happy train, be happy in my heart. There's only one debate, and it's already won. Fear and love, peace and hate, but the light has already come. I'm willing to open my eyes to see your innocence, to see a child of God, a mirror of myself. All right, so together we say, and let's remember this if we're going to be watching the debate. Maybe, I don't know, I love you. Together we say, Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Scott.